Welcome back to the channel. So here is the second phase of the prop trading. As you can see, stages is passed. It's the step 2. The goal was 420. It went to 423. So what happened? Basically, in short, I breached the rules that they had. So you can go through more the first evaluation. You can go through the validation phase, everything. Then will you may receive a automated email sent by the company. A nice email which says, "Congratulations, you've passed the challenge. Now please send us. We're gonna need these documents from you." But also in the same email it says that they're gonna review your trading. So that's not the end, right? So the this email I'm showing in the screen, the usual one we see, that's not the end, the final stage. So basically, in short, I had to message them, a few times, just asking them, where's my live account, what's going on, and all that. And then as the days went by, I started to kind of, it dawned on me, and I was like, I think it's not gonna happen because in reality, to be frank, they were right. So as you can see here from the email, I had used this special EAs, that they have. So the reason I took the risk. So for those who know, these are EAs that kind of take advantages of the demo conditions on the demo. So basically that you can pass really quickly, any challenge. Like some of them can pass it in an hour. Really, it doesn't really matter what size. They just, go through it like it's crazy. I mean, if you see it live, you think it's like magical. This one took a little bit longer, but still, it's same concept. They open. It's like a hedging. This one is a hedging one, and so if I show you here the account history, perhaps you'll understand a bit more how it works. So open, close, the same buy, sell, almost at the same time. They use a spread, or I don't know exactly how it works, but it does ultimately work in the sense that it passes you the challenges. Now, the issue is that, of course, then they are in their right to refuse. So the reason I, consciously took that risk is because I just said, why not? Let's see what happens. Let's try this out. I think the mistake was to, of course, take such a large account. Okay, so why did I, choose to consciously do that, knowing the risk they would deny it? I mean, well, because for other people it had worked, because, and then the question is why? Well, I think it really depends on the account. If it's a smaller account, maybe 50, 100, they perhaps don't go through the review phase, and so they just don't notice, or maybe it's something that is new to them, so they're not as aware that there's so many people, also because more and more people are trying to use this. And so, there was proof that it happened. Yeah, so that's the reason why I just saw, it's like a probability thing. If it works out, it passes, fine. If not, then I understand what happened, and it's only myself to blame. But yeah, big account, not a good idea, because of course it's a large account, right? You can make a lot of money with that, so they're not gonna, just give it to you like that. They have to review and all that. Now, how closely they review, you know. So then the other question is, so why, would I use this if I cannot use it on a live account? Of course, you can't use these types of liaison accounts because ultimately, at least for me, having uh, I'm a fairly new to this still. I mean, I have 2 years. I've been trading for 2 years, but that's still not enough. I have a full-time job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's a 9 to 8, 9 to 9. So I really don't have enough time to just practice hours and hours every day and all that. So 2 years, let's say, a year and a half. So um, passing these challenges for me, I don't have the skill set for that yet. I just can't do it with a high probability. I could, let's say, if I take many of them, perhaps I could pass one, but it would be half skill, half luck at this point. So that's the reason why, you know, I just chose that. I said, let's do it. Let's go big, and let's see what happened. Again, mistake was to go through such a big, large account. Um, so what's next? As I said in my previous videos, I don't have that much liquidity left and all that. So I think I'm just gonna scale back and go back to what I did previously, which is just trade myself uh, using a bit of a normal a normal EA plus manual trading. That's what I'm saying. And so I think for me that has worked the best. So my strategy is I'm a scalper, and unfortunately I personally think that for prop trading, at least the way I trade is not really conducive to passing 30 days 10%. It's just not gonna, it's very unlikely. I mean, again, unless I get a bit of luck and skill. So just to increase my probability, knowing that the way I trade and knowing my flaws and all that, I think one of the best results I've had so far with demo is just using this bot and manual trading, and it just basically makes me not over trade as much, because I know that there's a bot functioning, doing stuff. There's some profit being made at night, continuously what I work. So so when I go back home, then I'm not like forcing everything and like trying to go so quickly. And yeah, so that's basically it. So then if I go into a trade and all that, I know it's gonna be A plus setting, and just I would go in with knowing that I have a high probability of getting the trade right. So that's basically it, because the bot in itself, just by itself, it's not gonna work. It can't do it in 10 days, in 30 days, 10%. It's just not gonna happen. So it may make, let's say it's gonna make 30%, maybe it could make 30, maybe it could make 50% on the account, depending on the situation and all that. So with that being said, what's the next step? So I'm thinking I want to diversify. I want to do at least one FTMO 100,000 K, 100K normal challenge, and just use the EA as I said, and a bit of manual trading. That's one option. The second one I want to try is actually with EA funding again. So they have this promotion. So if I do get the liquidity on time, they have this promotion going on right now. It's not it's 50%, 15%. It's okay, but I just thought, why not? And it's a 250K account. And so that would be another one that I would like to try. And I'm not going to wait for one to finish and the other, right? It'll just be in parallel. I'll just make different videos for each. And so the strategy with this one would be more to just kind of leave the, just actually I'm not 100% sure, but it would be maybe a mix of both, just manual trading or something like that. But just keep being conscious that also they do have a different type of trailing drawdown. It's called trailing drawdown. So here you can read what it's about, but just to be conscious about that, because I see a lot of people have failed because of that, because they don't realize it. But ultimately, what I'm trying to get is I just want to go back and try to get at least one in one of the top five prop firms before I go back to to risking more. Like the what I did with the prop trading was more of a gamble, I have to say. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna focus on trying to get one of the top ones, and that's it. And so the third one I also would like to do in parallel, again just to diversify, is with this company on the Trading Plus, which is one of the best, and it's again like E8, they have the trailing drawdown, so it's not that easy, but they don't have a limit on the time. So basically, the idea would be to take the experienced trader program, single phase, and then the profit target is 10%, which is quite a lot. So if I would go with the 100K here. So I would need to make 10K. As I said, minimum trading 0, maximum trading, there's no maximum trading days, so that's great. The daily drawdown is quite small, so that's the issue. So basically what I want to do with that is, this is a long-term thing, this one. I'm not going to, it's just going to take a while. So what I want to do is, again, use a EA with a very, 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 very small like settings, just the smallest possible. See how it performs, and then if I see a very perfect like entry, maybe once a week or something like that, I'll go in and I'll do that. But otherwise, I won't touch it, because ultimately, if you do make, let's say, it's a good case scenario, but if you can make $100 a day with this one, it would take you about 9 months. So I know you're doing the math and thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. But the thing is, I'm not trying to explain this, but it's a trailing drawdown. So basically, you make 110 and you pass, right? And so then they give you your $100,000 live account, right? You get a $100,000 account, live account, if you pass this, right? But then you still need to make on top of that another 10K. Right, because it's a trailing drawdown. So basically, in order for you to have the or 5K, I don't know, if you want to have a 5% daily drawdown, you need to make those 5% yourself. So if you want to know, I don't know, sorry, I can't explain this very well, but you can look at the here it says relative drawdown. You can read more about it. So I like this company because, well, it's one of the best rated. It's undeniable that it's like serious, and they don't have a lot of rules, like hidden rules and all that. With this program, you don't need stop loss. You can keep your trades over the weekend. So those are the things that are interesting to me, and and ultimately I know they're not gonna screw me over. That's the only thing. That's basically what I need right now. So this one, and in the future I would love to, but I don't have any money. Love to try this one, instant funding, but with 100K. Otherwise, the drawdown is too little. 100K, and then the same thing as the other one. It would take a long time. It would take many, many, many months, but ultimately, you would get money which you can withdraw immediately. I mean, I've seen videos of people, it's insane, like they pay you in like 2 hours. It's crazy. Okay, so the conclusion is that I just want to go back to trying to pass one of the most one of the top 5 prop firms. I need some certainty. I want to know that if I invest a long time and there's the stress that comes with it, and emotions and all that. At least for me, that I'm sure that it will work out. So basically, going back to using my trading, which is I'm pretty decent when it comes to scalping and all that. It's just that, as I said before, I'm not as I tend to overtrade a lot, so that's not great. So that's why using this combination of manual trading and a regular normal EA, which I think would give me the most probabilities. I want to diversify, try to do these three, and maybe if I get one, that would be already amazing. And so just going back on why, just if you're wondering what some people may say, well, if you have to use all of this to pass, then how are you going to keep an account? And when I hear that question, it doesn't make much sense to me, because I think any normal person would never, if they have a live account, they would never, if it's someone who really is relying on the money, they wouldn't go for 10% a month. It wouldn't make sense, right? I would just go for 1% or 1.5% a month. Like, the idea would be just to keep it, and I think the ultimate goal is to increase the capital, not the percentage. Maybe in the future, if you already have more experience and you have more capital, more money in the bank and all that, then maybe you can try to do, risk it more and go for 5%, 6, 7%. But otherwise, I just don't see the point of doing that. So that would be basically the ultimate goal, is just to get one, and get 1%, 1.5%. Okay, so that's it for now, and thank you for watching.